Have you ever been playing Super Paper Mario and been like, you know what, I think this game should be a little bit wetter? Me neither, but it's surprisingly easy to do with this gecko code made by Sacred Ghost that gives your character water physics no matter where they are. So let's see how we can use this to make the game easier, make the game harder, and most importantly, make the game dumber. Okay, so right off the bat, we have definitely made the game dumber. Something that you may or may not remember about this game's water physics is that you can't jump on enemies while swimming, regardless of whether they're spiky or not. So with only Mario and Tippy to our name, we can't damage anything without items. Fantastic. There is this fire burst hidden in 3D in Bestovius's house, so I was able to use that a couple rooms later to grind some XP on this pile of squiglets. In the next room, we came to the first of many thought experiments in this playthrough, such as, how does the Megastar work underwater?
This probably works fine. This probably works completely normally. Wait. I have what? There's water physics for the Megastar. They're like kind of unfinished, but they do exist. You know, that's not bad.
Apparently the Megastar kind of makes sense with water physics, even though there's nowhere in this game where you would get one underwater. Next, I did some mountain climbing, and then we got to perform a red bridge skip. Holy sh! He skipped the red bridge. There's no way that he's gonna...
Okay, let's go across. There we go. Look at that, guys. We just barely managed to skip the green bridge.
And just like we learned in the last video, skipping Thoreau in this game gives you this hidden text box and puts him in your party anyways, so we suffered absolutely no consequences for our actions whatsoever. My favorite, Thoreau gives us the ability to actually fight back against our enemies by chucking them into each other, which is useful, but it has some drawbacks. Mainly, you have to have at least two things to throw at each other to deal damage. In the first O-Chunks fight, it is a true 1v1 and there's nothing to throw at him or throw him at in order to damage him, so we're gonna have to resort to item spam. Luckily, fire bursts are only 7 coins at the Yoldtown shop in 1-2, and they deal 5 damage each, so 28 coins and 4 fire bursts later, we can continue to the end of 1-3. Can we do blue pedestal skip?
We probably can. It probably works. It's probably just hard. Wait. Oh my god, it's free! I don't have to do it the real way. I can just do this. Wait, it's literally free. I was overthinking it so much.
1-4 reveals another one of the downsides of being permanently condemned to fish. You can't hit blocks. Okay, well, you can hit item blocks and save blocks, but you can't hit bricks or these 3D flippy ones or pretty much any other type. Luckily, you can use Thoreau to hit them, which prevents us from getting soft locked here. We once again get saved by Thoreau's block punching ability with these red switches at the end of the level. You have to hit them in a predetermined order to spawn this very important staircase that we absolutely 100% need to continue.
I didn't need to do this at all. I didn't even have to hit those. Because you can't skip that in vanilla. You can skip that very easily here. Yeah, the pipe is here. I didn't even think about that.
And now we get to do the Fractail fight, which is much cooler than the O-Chunks fight. Getting onto his back worked pretty normally, but damaging him is another story. We can't jump on the antenna, of course, and it doesn't look like we can jump high enough to throw a Frackle at it while underwater either. But after trying over and over, I randomly managed to connect a hit. It turns out that the height differences in Fractail's little bobbing up and down animation are actually enough to bridge the gap. We can jump at the peak of his bob, and then the travel time of our jump and the travel time of the Frackle being thrown will cause it to hit when the antenna is at the lowest point of the bob. Admittedly, we also could have won by just using 3 fire bursts, but that's lame. Here, just look at this funny swimming in the air thing and forget about it. Look, it's so silly. It's so silly. It's so funny. Next, we get to play as Peach for a short intermission, and there's a really funny sequence break we can do. This map is the exact same map as used in Chapter 8-1, except the game's sequence system tracks where we are in progression so it knows to load all of the Peach intermission stuff. However, swimming up over this wall lets us get to this room with a chest containing a castle key. This is the key to one of the doors in Chapter 8-1, and the game updates our sequence to 8-1 when we obtain it. Going back will show us that the Koopa waiting for us has vanished, and going through the door will have all of the enemies from 8-1 instead of the usual cutscenes. This seems like a major breakthrough, but we aren't given any of the characters or pixels we would normally have. We're just stuck as Peach only. You can clear the rest of the way through 8-1, but this last last room before O-Chunks cannot be passed without Bowser and Mario, as we discussed at length in the Mario Only challenge. If you could somehow get past this, the game would theoretically force you to Bowser as normal and then restore Mario, Peach, and Luigi back to your party after the fight, but even then it doesn't really matter because you can't beat the rest of Castle Bleck without pixels. There is a save block that Peach can reach, and if you hit it, congratulations, you have permanently soft-locked your save file. The rest of the Peach intermission plays out normally, and so does the rest of the Pure Heart Pillar stuff, although I did want to point out that the top of Flipside Tower and the main floor of Flipside are both the same map, and you can actually get over the invisible wall to travel between both without the elevator. And yes, that does mean that this long-ass, unskippable elevator animation is not a loading screen or any sort of trick to stitch two things together, it literally just takes your time. Maybe the best thing about 2-1 in this challenge is the fact that Mario's little breath bubbles are orange to match the hue of the water in this area, but this really easy boomer skip is at least a close second. Don't worry though, the game's failsafe will give them to us regardless, and thank God it does because we finally have a reliable attack method. We don't really need it in the next couple chapters, but there's still some funny swimming shenanigans to be had. We don't even have to set off Mimi's trap and can just swim right up to get the key in 2-2, and in 2-3 we can discover that Mimi's vase is immune to explosives, but not to being lightly jostled. You can technically swim past and skip breaking the vase, but Banker Mimi won't spawn, and you absolutely have to pay her the 1,000,000 rubies to make the star block spawn. Luckily, getting that 1,000,000 is also made easier by literally just swimming past the entire security system. Unfortunately though, we don't get to skip Slim since we need him to get through the bars. That bar clip I showed in the last video doesn't work since we can't move fast enough while swimming, but Slim takes like 30 seconds to unlock, so who cares? We did explore the ruby grinding methods a little bit for fun, by the way, and the swimming mod actually makes the standard generator room a lot better than usual. And if you were expecting me to do hamster mode in this video, nope, but I am happy to very professionally announce,
Here's the official announcement. Hamster for charity. Live on, what day was it? I'm pretty sure it was September 5th. Let me double check that that's true. It is the 5th. Okay, good. Sorry, I was just double checking that I'm not spreading misinformation.
Hamster for charity. This is going to be an almost professional version of the previous 3 hamster modes, except with no speed up and numerous donation incentives. We'll be raising money for the Transgender Law Center, so pop in on September 5th to see me slowly lose my mind as I run on the hamster wheel for like 12 or 16 or however many hours. Anyways, back to wet. The Picador segment of 2-4 isn't much different, but the Spider Mimi fight is actually awesome under these conditions.
Yeah, we definitely want to use Thoreau here. Boomer sucks ass for this. Oh god. Wait, this is actually really hard, I think. Okay, hold on, get off the ceiling. Okay, so like, there's no shot. Do I need, wait. Oh, that works. Wait, that's not that bad. She can just barely get hit by Boomer. Wait, that actually works. That's crazy that the hitbox works. I swear it didn't at first, but it's probably just because she was on the invincible phase. Hold on, wait. No, this is actually easy. Hold on. Mimi, come over here. Okay, when she gets on the ceiling, though, we have to swap because Boomer can't hit her on the ceiling. Wait, this fight is so balanced now. Hold on, it's actually like hard to hit her though. If you're like stupid like I am, I just need to be at the peak of my jump. Oh wait, she's getting off the ceiling. Okay, there's another hit. Oh, I could also grab Mimi off the ceiling. Yeah, I think I underthought that one a little bit. This is actually such a balanced and good fight like this. This is genuinely really fun. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, Peach for height would be a good strategy. Okay, here. I underthought. Look at that. Okay, walk this way. Oh, that missed. Hold on. Mimi, get back over here. Come on. Okay. And... nice!
I realized that it might be fun and worthwhile to do the Flipside Pit of 100 trials to get Dashel, but my score was so low from not being able to kill enemies in the beginning that I would have needed a bunch of items, and I don't want to deal with all that, so we're gonna put a pin in that for now. 3-1 is a nice, relaxing, and reasonably paced swim, and the Bowser fight is laughably easy since we can just carpet bomb him with Boomer. Bowser joins our team, and wow is he ever a fucking godsend for this run. He finally gives us an attack option that isn't incredibly limited, since even in this game's actual water, he's able to breathe fire. And speaking of the actual water level, 3-2. You might be wondering how the swimming code works when you're already underwater, and let me just warn you, the answer may underwhelm you. Okay, well, we can swim above the water too, but there isn't really anything interesting up here. This level plays out completely normally, but 3-3 sure doesn't. Instead of like, platforming, we can just swim straight to the top and then SpongeBob logic the door open. The inside of this tree works out about the same and is made all the more badass with this slim gold bar clip to prevent going back down to the pipe. For this Dimentio fight, I decided to give it a go with Bowser and Thudley. Bowser's fire is obviously very good for this, but I gotta say Thudley is surprisingly useful for this challenge since he does allow us to jump on enemies underwater, and on top of that, he still gives his double damage buff. There's apparently some janky camera stuff that happens when you try to swim straight over to the pipe, but the camera eventually figured itself out and we were able to finish the level. Fort Francis was surprisingly uneventful, but we were able to very easily perform carry skip since you can just swim over the spikes right here to get to the other side. My chat banned me from using Bowser in the Francis fight, so it ended up being literally the most threatening Francis has ever been.
I guess just use height. I'm beating this without Bowser seems difficult. Wait, no. Thudley's great here. Never mind. I was overthinking things. Hold on. Thudley should be great here as long as he happens to spawn below me. Yeah, Thudley's great. You just have to do that 10 times. But we're gonna miss some hits. He just has to happen to spawn close enough to us. Like, okay, no, this fight sucks. This fight actually sucks. Hold on, I'm actually gonna use strats where I spam Thudley to see where he's gonna go. No, I don't think Thudley's actually that good for this. Mario in 3D might work well. Let's try Mario in 3D. No, I missed him. Depth perception is impossible. No, he's so fast. Nah, there's no shot. Oh, I actually got another hit though. Like this is not that useful in a regular playthrough because you could just like kill him anyway. God, that animation's his fastest. Really? I did it slightly too early. I knew he was about to appear. Okay, wait. No. So I figured out the strat now. Okay, well, other than getting eaten, it's not like a free strat, but it's just a good strategy. You can tell that he's about to stop if you keep spamming this because he'll stop in place and then the game has to wait for this animation to finish before he appears. See? See that? So that's our tech. It's still tight though. This is legitimately an interesting way to do this. This is the first time Francis has ever taken a bath. True. Okay. I know the music's actually looping for once. He actually like has a chance to kill me with me using these strats. That's crazy. It's not even like hard. It's only hard if you restrict it to this. If I was using Bowser, it would be fine. Okay, there's another hit. Okay, he's got to be almost dead. How many hits have I done? Okay, I think I got to be on like one more, maybe two more. Oh, he ate me again. Yeah, there we go. All right, Francis dead. Let's go.
All right, now with Bowser, Thudley, and some more experience under our belt, it's time to do the Flipside Pit of 100 trials. Dashel is just going to be too good to ignore for this playthrough. In fact, we might even save time overall by stopping to do the pit just so we can have that sweet, sweet run button. Dashel has just as much of an impact on your swimming speed as your running speed, so he is very worth it. Doing the pit while swimming, though, is a whole different experience and challenge than usual.
So carrying Bowser is for sure going to be what we want to do for a while, just because like, can I make, oh no, I can't make this jump though. Oh, yuck. I can't make the jump. I don't know if carrying Bowser's the strat. That's actually disgusting. To be fair, I can also just jump off of carry and then back on carry, but like, it's not quite as free. There's actually gonna be like tech that we have to use. But the fact that you can bounce on Goombas is really nice with carry. The sweaty pit of 100 trials. Yeah, that's why it's so wet. This is actually all sweat. Man, if only we could move fast. The fact that, like, I'd be able to get through this more efficiently because I can 3D swim to any level and then flip back. Okay, we got last keyed. See, look at that. I had to 1-by-1 swim around and kill all the Schlurps and the Bald Clefts, and there was still 4 minutes and 8 seconds left on the timer. I'm not gonna lie, I think we should... Whoa, Bowser was squishy for a second. We should switch back to Bowser. Like, we kind of just don't even need Bowser carry, right? Because we can functionally just do what carry would do anyway and just float and breathe fire. Or honestly, Mario and Thudley is probably fine also. Oh, he's stretching his chain. He's not even like... He doesn't even have underwater physics. He's just weird. That was just him being weird. Yeah, Thudley is also just a fantastic option in here. Not just because it lets me jump on things, because it speeds me up a lot when going down. Have I been frozen underwater? I have not. Is it really weird? You keep your momentum or something? Okay, now I kind of feel like I have to try it. Hold on, let me kill the poison guy. Oh. You float up! That's actually incredible. I don't even think there's a place to get frozen underwater in vanilla. That, like, makes sense. Bowser can be a nice ice cube and a refreshing beverage. Okay, imagine we get Amazied. Getting Amazied might actually be really bad for this. All right, ready? There's like a 0% fucking chance that this works. Hold on, we try again, we try again. Hold on, wait, we try again though. There's maybe somewhere in the sub 5% chance for that to happen range. It might also be 0%. Oh, there's only one crazy left. If I have to kill this Amazie, that's actually going to be really difficult. Please have the key. Don't Amazie me. No way, we got Amazied. Hold on, wait, ready? Oh, no. Yikes, that's a lot of damage. I have 1 health left after that. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Dude, it's so good at avoiding me. Oh no, I actually could die to this thing realistically. That's fucked up. God, getting Amazied underwater is so bad. Ah! No, Bowser's fat hitbox, man. No, that Daisy was one tap. That Daisy was one tap. Amazie Daisies underwater are crazy strong. Okay, we are so back until we're not. If I get Amazied again, there's 9 enemies on this floor, including the Amazie. So there is a 1 in 9 chance of getting Amazied, by the way. Oh, God. They're rattling me. Okay, the hits from the regular guys are fine. I mean, 2 damage does add up over time, but it's okay. Hold on. Daisy, target me down here. And then go up here. Kill. God, this room is the most threatening, terrifying possible room. Dude, am I gonna get Amazied again? There's still a few crazy Daisies left. Oh my God, wait. Bowser, you stupid fucking idiot, man. Did I get 1 in 9 twice? Hold on. Please give me the key. I got 1 in 9 twice. Why did I get 1 in 9 2 times? Okay, what's the best strat for killing this thing underwater? I actually don't know. Swapping to Bowser is a terrible idea. I think we just keep airstriking it. What? It dodged that? You piece of shit. Or use Boomer. No, Thudley airstrikes. Thudley airstrikes. Thudley airstrikes are the strat. I just took contact damage from it. Okay, no, that's another hit, though. I think I just commit to this. Airstrike. There we go. I killed it this time. God damn, man. That enemy is not biased to have the key. There's no special logic there. It is completely random which one on that floor has the key. You know what? I always have to boomer these guys because of pit percent. We're gonna bury them instead. This way to kill them is fun. It's satisfying. Oh, no. No, I got hit by it. I did level up, though. I got no skills. Oh, we're on floor 100. And we can fight Racktail eventually after Mario walks over here eventually. So this is just going to be... Wait, no, I can use Carry now. Yeah, Carry's going to make this free. I think someone said that in chat earlier, and I was like thinking to myself, like, what the hell do they mean? That's not going to do anything. We can fly. But no, Carry means we can jump on the antenna. Let's bonk his antenna. Let's just swim over here. Yep, we'll get there eventually. Yeah, we're going to eventually... Yep, this is gameplay. Okay, and now we can carry. This fucking boss fight, man. All right, let's bonk this guy again. God, Racktail. There's nothing that can possibly make you not insanely weak. He's basically just Fractail again in like any normal context of this. Like, yeah, he does more damage, but he's just Fractail again. Bonk, 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 bonk. And now, look how fast we can move. We can move like the normal speed. In order to play Chapter 4, we still need to get the space helmet, despite the fact that Mario has been breathing underwater for this entire playthrough. He can breathe on land and underwater, but he can't breathe in space, so I guess he's a guild king. We can get the space helmet by taking this fish that's in a bowl of denser water, releasing him in this pool of denser water, and then pouring the dense water out of the bowl. I ended up calling it here for the first day since the pit took a while, and because I was expecting silly things to happen in Chapter 4. I figured some space and water swimming shenanigans would make a good start for day 2. It was wholeheartedly and impressively awful. I think this is just gonna be... Oh, it's normal gameplay? Oh, that's boring. Okay, that's fine though, because this chapter is so quick. Wait, is it just me, or is my default movement speed actually just way slower? No, I'm moving way slower than you normally move in space. It literally just made me space swim slower than normal. Squirp still worked, all the other physics were the same as normal, we just couldn't move as quickly. It didn't even have the decency to pick between being fast and lame or slow and interesting. It is slow and lame. The swimming physics combined with Dashel actually made Chapter 4-2 much faster than usual, so that was a nice surprise. 4-3 was once again the same as normal, but with slower swimming, and also the big ass doors for some reason like to freeze you in place for several seconds, gaslighting you into thinking it's soft locked, but it's actually not soft locked and it works fine, so hooray. Fortunately, like I mentioned before, 4-4 is going to be the real heat of this chapter. With all the weird gravity flipping and stuff like that it has, it's going to be super janky and we can skip around, and this is going to be a funky level. And Squirps is just going to run ahead and he's going to solve it before us. What a guy. Wait. What? Wait, what? Yeah, so this specific chapter is actually excluded from the water physics code because the gravity flipping combined with swimming equals a very, very crashed Super Paper Mario. I guess that makes sense considering this is the same game that has two different blocks that are both programmed to flip your gravity 90 degrees instead of having a 90-degree flip block and a 180-degree flip block. Wait, if both of these blocks are programmed to do the same thing, then how do the 180-degree flips work in the few rooms that have that? Well, those specific rooms are hard-coded to override the 90-degree flip with a 180-degree flip. Have fun sleeping tonight. So yeah, this entire chapter is normal and that's boring, so let's skip ahead to Chapter 5, yay! This chapter has a lot more to offer, including stinky greenish breath bubbles to match the stinky water in 5-1 that's there for story reasons. We can pay a visit to Waka by just swimming over this wall, and with underwater physics, he's actually immune to being jumped on. We will let Waka live for today. I realized on the first block hitting code that you also can't hit these by swimming into them, you have to use Thoreau, and this really isn't a big deal for hitting 3 of them in a row, but it would be really tedious on the second code. Fortunately, we can just swim over this wall and continue across and finish the level easy. 5-2 is largely the same, just a little bit more convenient than usual. There's a second O-Chunks fight in this chapter, and he is so grossly underpowered that we can just stand still and use Barry while he tries to attack us and he will die. Swimming up to Kudge is pretty cool looking, and Kudge has some deep insight to share for today's playthrough. I'm so wet! 5-3 isn't interesting gameplay-wise, except for a certain quirk with the minecarts. was even better than I thought. Ha! Wait, I gotta... It doesn't crash on emulator. We're good. It doesn't crash on emulator. On console, that would crash.
5-4 gave me the opportunity to finally try scanner skip for myself, but after trying for a bit with no success, people more knowledgeable than me in my chat pointed out that it seems like it doesn't work with water physics, so we're gonna have to settle for the easier Dottie skip. The next O-Chunks fight is exactly the same as the last one, but he moves like 50% faster. This sounds like a big change, but it isn't, and we can just stand still and bury him again. King Crocus is a much more interesting boss fight in this mod, especially when my chat challenges me to beat him with only Thoreau. This makes the weird hitboxes on his appendages much more apparent, but overall this concept feels a little more solid and challenging than the normal version of the fight. Chapter 6 is, huge surprise, just slightly more tedious than usual. We can swim above every Samurai and carpet bomb them, or just use Bowser's fire combined with underwater sliding momentum to absolutely shred everything. Once we got to the Mimi fight at the beginning of 6-2, I decided to give Underwater Cudge a go.
Yeah. Wait, Cudge actually fucks her up.
Holy shit, Cudge is somehow like S+ tier for this challenge, like genuinely. He activates as if you're grounded while swimming and locks you in place, so he is very good for stun locking and killing things with his double damage. This is a huge day for the Cudge community. Comment down below if you're a true Cudger. So anyways, the flood consumes the world and we get to slowly travel across the destroyed world. The Brobot L-type fight gives us a chance to finally fight Brobot underwater for real, and he would be an actual threat if not for Thudley. And finally, we get to what is easily the best, funkiest, and hardest chapter in the flooded SPM playthrough, Chapter 7. As per usual, Dimentio makes us die and sends us to hell, and we wake up as solo Mario. Without our pixels, swimming Mario is pretty limited. Sure, we can float past all the enemies and obstacles in this room, but our real problems start underneath the river twigs. Yes, our biggest problem in this challenge comes from a segment that is normally underwater, and that is not an exaggeration. This underground section has some puzzles where you need to flip the levers to drain or refill the water back and forth, and as you might expect in this mod, flipping the lever doesn't change anything for our movement. This prevents us from breaking the bricks since we can't use Mario's stupid dumb head to do it while swimming. So what can we do? Well, as it turns out, the super in Super Paper Mario stands for super fucking broken, and if you take damage with the 3D timer while swimming up, it's possible to use the momentum you get to clip through the corners with raw Mario and no pixels. Clipping out of bounds lets us swim past literally everything else to go get Luigi. Oh, by the way, if you were thinking we could have just skipped all of this and gone straight to Love Bee, we can't because she doesn't spawn until you obtain Luigi. And as you might have guessed, we pretty quickly run into the same problem when trying to backtrack out of here. To get past here, we could do another 3D water damage clip, but there's apparently an even easier strat for the return trip.
Go to bottom right corner 3D, then walk up left. What a stupid fucking video game. Hold on, wait, I'm doing that again.
Without these glitches, the water playthrough would have been legitimately soft-locked. The rest of 7-1, including the return to Flipside and the Heart Pillar, are all pretty trivial, so let's skip right ahead to the Bowser fight in Chapter 7-2. Mods, Cudge that guy. With that, he rejoins the party and we can do the dreadful backtracking of this chapter with a bunch of 2-button spam, and then finally we arrive at the chapter most people were looking forward to. 7-3 is the Over There stair where you're supposed to recover Peach by waking her up with a magic apple, but as you might know from previous videos, skipping Peach is possible in vanilla with a ton of Thudley jumps to get the height needed to climb this huge empty space. In this mod though, and we made it. Just barely pulled off Peach skip. What a god gamer. 7-4 gives us the opportunity to attempt another Thudley jump trick, Rainbow Bridge skip.
This is a kind of a difficult trick. Hold on, let me Thudley jump across. Come on, come on. Come on. Oh, come on, come on. Come on. Oh, we made it. We did it first try. Let's go.
Now, let's take on Bone Chill. Throwing pieces of ice at him with Thoreau while you're using underwater physics is legitimately a really interesting take on this fight. Cudge still exists. Flooded Castle Bleck gives us a lot of opportunities to swim past enemies vertically instead of using 3D to sneak past them. Call me a variety streamer the way I be using a variety of methods to skip past all the game's content. O-Chunks is literally the same fight again, but big, and we can use the exact same method as the previous two fights. 8-2 is a little bit goofier with this really easy way to skip the bulk of the chapter, but unfortunately we still have to fall for this trap on purpose to get the key. You would think that he could just grab the mushroom and keep swimming, but Mario is governed by cartoon logic, so nope. The second Spider Mimi fight is probably the best and most balanced fight in vanilla, and it is once again really fun with swimming physics. Cudge is goated once again, and we're able to time some hits to skip a lot of her attacks. 8-3 is maybe the most scuffed level in this entire challenge. Right off the bat, there's this room where you have to take the top path, otherwise the ending door loops you to the start of the room. Swimming through it or walking along the floor seemed to not work to trigger the detection, and the room looped anyways. We ended up trying carry to see if that would count as being grounded to make the door work, and fortunately, it actually did. Next, we're supposed to get a key from this set of rooms where you have to hit the correct block to spawn doors until the final room where you have to hit 3 in order to spawn the chest. These are a predetermined order that you can see on the side of the blocks in 3D, and we can hit them all with Thoreau.
Wait, for real? What? I hit them all. Maybe you have to hit all of them in 2D? Like, back to back. What? Do I just have to restart the room? I probably just have to restart it. Cudge might hit them multiple times? Maybe. That could be the case. I would believe that. This game sucks. Just enough for that. Did that even hit it? They're not animating. Does Luigi's super jump not hit them underwater? I might need to use Thoreau. I'm concerned. This is either a soft lock or there's something more to this. So standing here doesn't activate it. What if carry activates it because I'm on the ground? It doesn't. God, that was such a good idea. There's got to be something stupid that works. But the wet run might actually soft lock. I didn't try using carry between each block hit yet. I didn't even know the magic block could spawn up there. I just corner clipped into that. I'll try it. I don't think it's going to work. There's no way that this shit works. There is no way that hitting it with Thoreau and then swapping and then going back work. What? I don't understand this video game.
The fact that carry actually worked for this still blows me away. The rest of 8-3 is a nice leisurely swim, and the Dimentio backtrack filler thing is even more leisurely than usual. The Dimentio fight itself is once again an interesting scenario since Luigi doesn't get to use pixels during his 1v1. Thank God Luigi's super jump works underwater because otherwise we wouldn't be able to beat Dimentio without items. The double damage of said super jump is also insane, so we can still kinda steamroll this guy. 8-4, would you believe it, can mostly be swam over without any issue. The bulk of the level are these 3 maze rooms where you have to go between identical hallways with different enemies in 3D to find the next door. With a slim gold bar clip and some swimming above the level boundaries, we can completely skip all of it. And finally, to make the final bosses actually challenging, my chat restricted me to only damaging them with Berry for both Count Bleck and Super Dimentio.
All right, it's time for swimmies. This is disgusting, actually. Never mind. I changed my mind. I have to bury him 50 times. Oh, the slowdown affects my swimming too. Oh, this is gonna take so long. Dodge his attack slowly. No, don't slow me down. I know the relative speed of his projectiles actually matters for once, especially when he slows you down. No, he's gonna get me. It's okay, that attack only does 3. Look at that, we just double hit him. I don't think it was worth it though, because I took damage also. I wonder why he agrees with that. Dude, I'm gonna get so many more cheap hits. This is genuinely just a game to see if I can hit him enough before he gets cheap hits on me. No, he's gonna cheap hit me. I love that he emotes on me also. Just like O-Chunks. That's where O-Chunks learned it from. From Daddy Bleck. I mean, Count Bleck. Come on, Black. Wait, that makes me have no gravity after that. Oh, we're making the game fun again. Thanks, Black. What a cheap-ass hit. Is that the 8 damage one? That's the 8 damage one? Are you fucking kidding me? Do I have healing items? I don't want to use them until I'm actually one-shot range. Okay, now I'm actually one-shot range from that attack. I'll use a long last. The triple hit. That was actually crazy. No, don't slow me down. Yeah, he's dead. Okay, cool.
That plus water physics made for a genuinely awesome boss fight. And of course, we set off to kill Super Dimentio with Barry only as well.
Thank you so much for the support, seriously though, Daniel. I really appreciate it. And I really hope that I kill this fucking Dimentio guy on this attempt for you. Because I'm tired of burying this guy. I'm done burying this guy. We cheated and used items.
And so that brings us to the end of the Flooded Super Paper Mario Challenge. Playthrough? I mean, it wasn't particularly difficult other than a couple mandatory glitches, but it was a ton of fun and we learned a lot of cool things about this game. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment so you can tell the YouTube algorithm that the video is cool and all that, and huge shoutouts to all the Bringle members for continuing to support this channel. It genuinely means a lot that you guys are sticking with me, and don't worry, I plan to stick with you as well. Let's get this channel to like 1 billion subscribers. So anyways, I'm gonna take my leave for now, but you'll probably see me like today or tomorrow because I post a lot of stuff. So yeah, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and I will see you next time.